Hello and welcome back to this Trails to Azure Let's Play with me, SLJ RPG. In the last episode, a whole bunch of shit went down. We ended up escaping from prison in this Fragments chapter with our new friend Garcia Rossi, who managed to escape. Now it's never, we've got to overcome this trial and make our way through here. I don't think it should be too bad, because most things here aren't that strong, if I remember correctly. Certainly compared to us at Lloyd. As we managed to get all of our equipment back as well. Which is obviously very, very handy. As we can see, Azure grass is growing absolutely everywhere here. And we're able to one-shot everything here anyway. So, we're going to take everything out just because... But look at all this fucking Azure grass. The Flamora glass, sorry. I don't know if it's not called Azure glass, is it? But my god. So much. So, the Cross were behind it all the time. I must admit, I suspected them. Didn't see Arios. We're definitely not opening that one. Level 100 solo by yourself might be the worst idea ever. But let's make our way through. And see where we're going now. Take him out. Let's go. Is anything going to happen, or are we just going to see loads of Flamora grass? Were these yellow flowers here at the same time? Picked up on Mind 1. Not sure that's actually too helpful now. As we come up against our first main enemy, to be honest with you, I'm just going to use a break when I get the chance. I think that's probably for the best. Or, I can use a Brave Smash. Take out two of them. They're stuck anyway. Let's take them out. Save our S-Break for when it may be needed further down the line. We know that our friends are being held at different locations. We don't exactly know where quite yet, but I suppose we're going to have to do some breaking out of here with Lloyd. This is bad. It's got to break the line sight somehow. Target sighted. Surely our only way is to jump into, surround him with the pincer attack. Surely our only way is to jump down into the... There's no other choice. Yes, of course, to go into the area where they can't take the CGF cars. Jump down into the forest. Then cut it off as we go. Is that the best bet? Surely that's the best bet from here. Damn, the uniforms are different, but the CGF are as tough as ever. Come on, Lloyd. You can do this. Fugitive spotted. Is Wazzy going to come help us? No, okay. We can definitely take out most of them here. These rush attacks are not ideal. Of course. We just need to survive one round. God damn you. We'll do a raging spin here. And we had a proxy puppet anyway. It's good that we still got that. I forgot about that, but that has actually saved us clutch a little bit there. My best bet is going sneaking into Crossbell from the freight line. No matter what it takes, I have to survive this and then make it out in one piece. Ooh. God damn it. An admirable effort. Whoever thought a simple detective could hold out so long against the reborn defense? Isn't he a former teammate of Second Lieutenant Seeker's? Maybe we shouldn't be so surprised. Enough. Disarm him, now. Remember our orders to take him alive. I won't fall here. You can still move? Why this far? Can you just not stomach your precious Crossbell changing so much? Wake up! Even if you keep struggling like this, you can't change anything alone. That may be, but it doesn't matter. If no one stands up to this, nothing will change. I refuse to be swept away by this. I refuse to let the truth die without seizing it with my own two hands. I will get back those precious to me. I will never give up. No matter how many times you knock me down, I'll never surrender. You can break my legs and I'll keep standing back up. What's with this guy? What a shame. Charging him, my men. Break those legs of his. Roger. Aim for the legs. God. Won't give up until the bitter end. Kieli, Tio, Randy, Wazi, Chief Sergey, please give me your strength. I'm disappointed in you. Who the fuck are you, huh? What was that? It's ringing in my head like... What the fuck? What the... Zeit. Huh? What? I knew it was gonna be him. Okay. It's so weird surrender to mere cryptid. Oh wow. What? Must I repeat myself? No, all men. Retreat. Indeed. I believe I gave them a greater deal more shock than I had intended. It has been a long time since I've assumed this form. After all, I suppose I may have forgotten how to restrain myself like this. There's so many things I could say to you right now, but I'll keep it short and just ask one question. What is it? What the hell, Zeit? How is your timing this good? Nice. Hell of a weapon to have. A holy beast sent by Adios. Yes, it is simpler if you think of me in such terms. Surely of Europe the Septorians once bestowed upon man by the goddess. We holy beast formed contracts with her to watch over man and those treasures. When you say we, does that include the dragon that appeared during the Liberal incident? An excellent deduction. The dragon is known as Ragnar. He's indeed one of my brethren. He remained in the land known as Liberal for centuries to observe the Septorian of space. However, I am unaware of where he is now that his pact has been fulfilled. It's all a little tough to follow. Does that mean you're staying in Crossbell for just as long? That is correct. I've been in this land since before the great collapse over 1200 years ago. Why, the Septorian Mirage disappeared from the land that became Crossbell, and what was done by man in an attempt to revive that Septorian. Both are knowledge that I hold. And that's the knowledge that the others and I can grasp on our own. The Septorian of the goddess that was inherited by the Qua family. Why did it disappear? And why of all people was Keyboard in trying to replace it? Please, Zeit, I have to know the truth. What happened 1,200 years ago? And how does it relate to what happened 500 years ago to Key? Very well. I came to you in this form with every intention of telling you. The Septorian that Adios bestowed on this land. Its name was Demogorgus, the treasure that governed the power of Mirage. Mirage is the element that controls perception and cognition. It has dominion over causality. In the distant past, there was a desire the people of this land held, one that was shared by the Qua family that would inherit the Septorian. The desire was for a god that could walk among man, something which Adios could never do. A god that could guide man by intimately knowing them and the truth of all things. A god that could change the very fabric of causality. On the surface, it is a power similar to that of the Aureole, which could grant a man's endless desires. However, Demogorgus, I'm hoping I'm saying that right, was bestowed with dignity, and did not make the same mistakes as the Aureole. It had the wisdom and judgment to guide mankind without further corrupting them. With such power, Demogorgus was able to shepherd man onto its correct path. Or it would have, had it known its own heart and not reached its limit. to guide the personalities, actions, and irrationalities that comprise mankind. The Septorian would have to have empathy, just as humans do. With that time, the empathy deteriorated Demiurgus's heart, causing it to fall ill. It feared if things continued, it would harm those it sought to protect. So with a heavy heart, the Septorian firmed its resolve and made a choice. It chose to dissolve its causality and disappear from the world. So, that's what happened. But what of the people who were left behind, the ones who lost their treasure? In the wake of the Septorian's disappearance, they were understandably bewildered, sorrowed, and left frightened. Then, without reflecting on why the Septorian made the decision it did, they began down a foolish line of thinking. The people of this land became obsessed with recreating an existence equal to the Septorian they had lost. In the beginning, they were only stumbling through the darkness, clueless. But after 700 years, they had gathered enough knowledge of mastery of a peculiar practice, alchemy, a magic that can give form to the formless. That was when their grand plan was formulated. The cult was founded so it could be puppeteered from the shadows. It was entrusted to raise the existence meant to be the core of the new Septorian. For the sake of their ceremony, the Qua family needed to prepare the land of Crossbell. Earth would have to be moved for such large transmutation. They were the steps outlined by the alchemists of the Qua family several hundred years ago. To ensure their plan was financially feasible, the Qua family donned the guise of bankers. Meanwhile, the cult began the steps to eventually awaken the core that had become the object of their worship. Now, 500 years later, we have arrived at our current predicament. It's so unbelievable, but I feel like I can finally grasp the big picture. Zeit, Maribel called Key the Septorian of Zero. What does she mean by that? Does that make it different from the Septorian of Mirage? Unfortunately, I do not have the answer you seek. The Qua family may have discovered something unexpected at the end of their 1,200-year delusion. If that is the case, they may not have only created an existence that could equal Demogorus. Their Septorian of Zero may hold the power that surpasses the original. The Aeon of White is one such example. The power demonstrated was not of its own, but that of a Septorian. However, the Septorian of Mirage did not possess the ability to manipulate reality so instantaneously. The power is more akin to a different high element, space. Assuming there is more to their artificial Septorian than we currently know, I cannot begin to fathom the power it holds. I was afraid you'd say that. Ugh. There's one more thing I'd like to ask. Based on what you told me, Key isn't really a human, is she? She is, and yet she is not. Key is an artificial existence designed to be the core of the manufactured Septorian. She is likely a homunculus that was created through the advanced transmutation. Full Metal Alchemist is what I think of. Key probably realized the truth a long time ago, and still she kept on smiling for us. Key. It's alright, we've got a sick divine wolf now, innit? We're at Tangram Hill. So, is this the Calvardian border? Yes. The defensible shoulder should have difficulty finding us here. This is a good opportunity for a rest. Thanks, Zeit. You saved me back there. Oh. Huh? What is that? A barrier of some kind that appeared around Crossbell. It would seem only those who are permitted may freely enter and exit. Those that are not cannot pass through it at all. Be it living creatures or machines. You've gotta be kidding. You saw when they escaped. Plumora grass has begun to bloom everywhere in Crossbell. It would be accurate to think of it as a sign that Crossbell has become one with the newly born Septorian. Zeit, just what is Plumora grass? I heard that it shares some sort of connection to the Septium veins underground. It was once the eyes of the former Septorian mirage. As it bloomed, the Septorian could observe and understand the surface world. It is capable of distorting surrounding space when connected with the Septorian. It is likely cause of the cryptid's sudden appearance. Such beings should not exist on this plane naturally. I think I understand. Those disgusting rituals the D4G cult was conducting. It was all about perfecting Gnosis, right? They took advantage of the Plumora grass properties for their experiments, didn't they? Yes. Their goal was to make knowledge of the personalities of the victims who fell influence to the drug. Through the flower's capabilities, the victim's characteristics would be imparted to the girl sleeping in the cradle of the Sun Fort. Vast amounts of information that would then self-organize and nurse forth a proper heart of personality. Then, after 500 years, the core of Septorian awoke. This is the extent of my knowledge. The will of the cult's puppet masters. Over centuries, they meticulously crafted the present situation. On that topic, the options you now have are rather limited. Would you prefer to flee to a foreign soul until the storm has subsided? I understand why you'd ask. My uncle's home is in Calvard, so it's true I'd have someone to lay low if I had to. But no, it's not an option. There's work to be done here. I have the answers to find and solve the case. Do you now? To grasp the truth and solve the crisis, I'm gonna need everyone's strength. L.E.T.O. Randy, and not just them. Everyone. I need all of them. And for that I can't run. I can't hide. I have to go back and face it all. Sorry for making you drag me out here, but there's something I still need to do. What truth are you hoping to ascertain? Isn't it obvious? I don't care about her power or even her mysterious origin. I want to hear the truth straight from her heart. I need to know what Key wants for the most in this world, and I won't be able to hear what's in Key's heart until I've taken her back. There is the matter of what happened to the old Septorian. How can Key be expected to shoulder the burden that Demogorgons can't? I would never allow Key to suffer that fate. That's why I swear I'll take her back. No matter what it takes. I'll go through the fucking president and even Arios if that's what it takes. Good to see if I wasn't changed by prison. Huh? Oh, fuck me. Was he? Are you? Abbas? Wait, Reis? Kevin? Good to see you again, Bannings. Indeed, it has been a long time. Well, how's it hanging? It's been what, 4 months? Thanks for remembering my name. Hard to forget the names and faces of the members of the Septine Church's Grousritter. Wait, Wazzy, does that mean you're... Haha? What? What the fuck? He's a fucking Grousritter! What the... Okay. Cool, I had no fucking clue. Incidentally, I'm a knight of the Grousritter. I work in the service of Wazi. You gotta be kidding me. Have you two really been stringing me along this whole time? Then, when we first met Reis, you didn't say a word to each other about both being... My apologies. I pretended not to know who he was. Father Hemisphere's undercover mission is regarded with utmost secrecy. Her rival completely fooled that old Grandpa Elder. Had no idea who the real Mo was. I really owe her one. Happy to be of service. I mean, yeah, for one, Reis standing out like a sore thumb. She worked it out. Anyone in the church couldn't tell she ain't no normal sister. I'm sure the Archbishop was beside himself when she walked through the door. I have no idea what you're talking about. Besides, you're hardly in a position to preach to me about how to successfully go undercover knowing your track record. Yeah, well, who'd be foolish enough to think Kevin was an average priest? Well, enough for introductions. We're here because he called us. You mean Zeit?
Yes, that is correct. I knew your resolve would remain firm, so that it is suitable to recruit collaborators on your behalf.
Oh. First, I infiltrated Crossbell 2 years ago, so you can probably fill in the blanks. The Grousage has seen this situation coming for a while now, at least to a certain degree. Still, there were a lot of holes to fill in. We didn't know the Qua family was behind the conspiracy for one, or keys to our identity. Zeit recently filled us in on the whole story, I'm sure he did with you.
Yes, we are dealing with not just the history of the lost Septurian and Mirage, but also the creation of new Septorian by human hands. The situation is far beyond the scope of Grouser's typical duty of artifact retrieval. The circumstances would normally make this out of our jurisdiction.
Maybe, but on the other hand, we can't just simply ignore the Society's involvement in this little shindig. That's where you come in, Mr. Detective. You're getting our in for getting our hands dirty. Bingo. I don't think we'd be allowed to intervene if it's under the guise of collaborating with you. So, Lloyd, what do you say? There's one thing I need to confirm. Key. What does the church plan to do with Key?
Right for the jugular, that's a toughie.
Yes, but being dishonoring will get us nowhere with him.
I agree, he deserves to know the truth.
I know that. The Septorian of Zero is far more dangerous than the Septorian of space the Ariel was. That much is certain, even if we haven't grasped the extent of her powers yet. You've been locked away for weeks. Are you aware of all that's been happening around the continent? Not really. All I know is that the civil war in the Empire we were warned about has begun. Sure has, and it all got put on the fast track after that armor division they tried to send across the border got snuffed out. And you know how the Golden Stallion rolls. After that they kept trying to, but got repelled over and over by those Aeon things. Right when things were going to Gehenna in the handbasket over there, the Nobleman's Alliance troops came out of nowhere and occupied Helm.
It was the Blood 9 Chancellor was shot. No one's seen him since. The Empire's been aflame in its civil war since the week after you were arrested.
Meanwhile, the Republic has been in an economic crisis from what occurred in Crossbell. Terrorist activities have been increasing, and the President formally declared a state of emergency. When it rains, it pours. You don't even know the half of it. It's not like things are roses in the other countries either. Things are especially problematic in the regions of Erebania and Calvard, who've been traditionally had under their thumbs. 1 second, guys. My speaker keeps deciding to fall down. Anyway, President Qua has been pressuring these nations' leaderships to have them bend the knee to Crossbell, that is. Because Crossbell has the power of the Septorian to coerce them with. Exactly. It has the power to repel both of the most powerful armies in all of Zemuria. All because the 3 archasms supplied by the Society. The most likely outcome at this rate is the Aeons will be mass-produced, shooped up by Crossbell Septorian, and deployed all over the continent. Key would never agree to that. She won't want to harm innocent people.
Perhaps. However, it is not seen that the archasms are controlled by the Septorian directly. They're likely to be made into guardian-like machines by the Septorian's power and move autonomously, much like Ren's archasm, Patameter.
No way. I'm inclined to agree on that point, Horse. I'd gotta seriously doubt that little girl is in the driver's seat there. Which ain't good. That means that it can be abused by anyone, and she'll be none the wiser. Key's consent aside, power like that is too dangerous to ignore. Okay, I understand where the church stands. Then if you don't mind, I'd like to ask for your cooperation. Really? I thought you were going to turn us down for sure. I'm being realistic. No, this isn't something I can do by myself. This time isn't on my side either. The longer this drags on, the more Key will be made to suffer. But I'll make one thing perfectly clear. If you even lay one hand on Key, I'll stop you, even if I have to fight you until my dying fucking breath. Not just me. LET or Randy, they would say the same thing. We'll never let you take her. Call it a fallacy, call it illogical. I don't care. We're her family and we won't let you hurt her. Damn, I knew you were a sharp guy, but I didn't think you had the kind of fire burning in you. I think I get why you like him so much, Wellesley. I told you, he stole my heart. I'm serious, Wazzy, if you... I know. As a knight of the Growl, I swear an adios. You will not be excluded from how we choose to deal with her. Your opinions and input will be heard. I know it's not ideal, but this is the best I can do given our position. Sound good to you? Enough for now.
Then we have a deal.
Okay, dokie. Time to get to work. Let's move out, gang.
What? Ah, it's quite the nostalgic sound. The Heavenly Chariot, I take it.
Airships? Patrol ships used by the Growser. We call them the Merkbar. In addition to other stealth functions, they also offer capable optical camouflage. They're just what we need to discreetly move around Crossbell's airspace. Well, Lloyd, ready to go?
Let's do this.
Key, everyone. Wait for me, I'm coming. Well, I did not see Wazzy Hemisphere being a Growser. Genuine shock. Genuine shock. As that ends the fragments. And I think that's a good place to say. If you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.